And put Amber there and look.
All right, good morning, everybody. So morning. The Commissioners Court meeting on March 25th, 2025. And let's all rise for the invocation, please. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we ask your blessings for rain, Lord. We ask to help us with this dry country that we have. We ask for your forbearance on that and ask for wisdom and strength as we go about the business of the county. We thank you for all you provide in Jesus' name. Amen. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible. Minute I get rid of that thing.
All right. Good morning, everybody. I apologize for my voice. I'm auditioning for the bass singer at the Oak Ridge Boys. So apologies for the.
I thought it was Eartha Kitt.
For the froggy voice. All right, let's start with Commissioners Court meeting minutes of March 11th.
I see the minutes of March 11th. Find them in order and move to approve it, Rick.
Okay, motion to approve the minutes of March 11th. Look, second, any discussion? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, great. Number 5, public comments.
I think the button is not going to speak. I think the light is on.
No, red is on.
Oh,
Okay. Okay, all right, public comment this morning. All hate mail goes to Westerman. All love letters come to me. Your turn. All right, any comments? All right, very good. All right, number 6, report from the Alpine rep. Anybody here from the Alpine?
All right.
All right, number 7, recognitions and announcements. Anything from the court? Especially any updates, any fundraisers? Want to see we have a commissioner from Presidio County here. Thank you for joining us. It's organized chaos, so just be ready.
I come to learn.
Okay. All right. Number 8, county judge report. I don't have anything specific. We'll talk a little bit more when we get to number 9, which brings up number 9. That's the Brewster County project list. You guys look under A, the allocation tracker report is under the exhibit A. I have two thoughts for the court this morning. Some expenses that I would like to the court consider. We have $150,000 allocated in the project spreadsheet for originally it was for a potential building in Marathon for an ambulance, to house an ambulance. I think that's going to probably be postponed for right now. And there's a couple of things that are really urgent. One is the post park really needs to have its trees trimmed and taken out, dead limbs, dead trees, stumps, that sort of thing. So I'm proposing that we spend, there's a proposal in there, proposing we spend $40,400 to have Loving Tree, whatever the company's name is. Tree Loving, yeah, come in and
ELC
and clean it up. Said they take them about a week. We'll shut the park down for that week, Monday through Friday, and get in there and clean up. They'll take all the stumps out of all the dead trees. And then they also
we hadn't done it in probably 15 years, and when we did it, we couldn't get up on top of all those trees, and there's a bunch of dead trees in the middle, and all these winds. We got lots of people there. I think it's a big liability right now.
I agree.
What do they call them? Widow makers?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, I have about.
Ruben, he said, I'll tell you, when he starts doing it, you may want to go out there and talk to him. He wants to mulch all of the stumps and then spread the mulch out around the trees and into the grass to help, I guess, further.
Do it on the pecan trees and stuff.
So,
Where is Ropesville?
sorry,
Where is Ropesville?
I love it.
Okay.
That's where they're out of.
I'm just wondering why there's Seems that's the best bid, or that's where they,
He's down here a lot, I know that.
Okay.
He spends a lot of time here now.
I had some interest with some local people there, so I told him to give me a bid. I talked to him, I'll tell you.
The biggest thing, Jim, is because they've got to get about 80 feet in the air, they have to rent a crane
I got you.
to get.
I talked to him on March the 15th
Mhm.
and I hadn't heard nothing back from him.
They did all the courthouse trees.
We're happy with their work.
Yeah, they do good
Yeah,
work.
very good. Okay.
And it is 35 trees, so it's like, that's a lot of trees.
It's a lot of trees to go.
Yeah. I'll make a motion that we approve the trimming bid for 40,400.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right.
All right, no, item C, as in Charlie, discuss and take action to approve. This turned out, I threw that number in there when I set the agenda. It's not anywhere close to 25. It came in at, I think, 13,000. We have a broken window, have had a broken window at the Red Patilla Center for, I think, since Eisenhower was president. I'd like to get it just looks trashy. And so while we're in there, my suggestion is that we go in and put double pane windows. When they built that thing 20 years ago, they put single pane windows. And while we're in there fixing it, let's just get it done right, because we're gonna need to upgrade those air conditioning units at some point. And there's no sense in sending that heat right out the door. So it did not come in at 25, so I revised this down to 13. But I would like to see.
Make a motion to approve.
Okay.
Replacing the windows.
All right,
And
I'll
the
second.
Patilla Center.
motion and a second. Any discussion?
Well, was there, when we had our meeting over there, there was other things indicated that.
Yeah,
needed,
so
but just not now.
Johnny's crew right now is painting it. He's
Okay.
going in and patching the cracks that have developed over the years inside.
Yeah.
And is gonna start painting the inside and the outside, all the railings.
Okay.
We're kind of going with that sort of the courthouse color red with the beige. So
Okay.
everything kind of looks alike, you know, like about one color paint. So that's undergoing, but there's some other things that need to be worked on that building.
That'll be a separate item
Yes,
down the road.
I suspect this year we're probably gonna be looking at replacing those AC units. They've been there, since we built it.
22 years.
We found that when the contractor came in to put the clinic in, he had to use a very heavy duty forklift and ran over the water line inadvertently it turns out the water line's copper.
Inch and a half copper.
Yeah, so we're gonna probably go back in there and change that to PEX. Just because we got it fixed and they paid for that, so we weren't out needing money.
The septic upgrade is gonna be a big improvement for that.
Yes, it is.
Is that tied into the clinic?
Yes,
Septic thing
so
already?
the clinic and the community center are now tied into the brand new septic.
Okay.
And it's rated for both. Speaking of the clinic, it will open probably as early as next week for a soft opening. And they're in there today getting everything ready. So pretty excited about all the utilities are hooked up, internet's there, everything's ready to go. All right, I've got a motion and a second on the $13,000 for the windows at the Red Patilla Center. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. All right, number 10, review and discuss, take possible action regarding comments by DJ Hensley regarding marathon topics. DJ, it's you.
Good morning. I have some handouts here, so I'm gonna hand them out to y'all. For y'all to look at and know what I'll be talking about. So I'm Della Hensley. I'm with the Marathon Animal Shelter and for Brewster County. And so I have some items that I want to discuss. Thank you for fitting me in and everything. And hopefully we can continue doing something. So the first thing, this is just kind of an outline of things that I want to discuss from time to time. The first is restructuring of Marathon Animal Shelter, or MOS. Finding land, grant, getting a brick and mortar. Right now, it is in my house. And things changed last year. If I don't get the animals out of my house, I will lose my house. I cannot lose my house. So right now I am temporarily closed to intake. I'm still functioning, but I have to get the animals out, find a new place to do a shelter. So that's going to be a top priority this year, is finding land. Another is a name change. I wanted to do Brewster County when Judge Connell was here, but that didn't happen. So I chose Marathon Animal Shelter. And that's not the best name, but it's the thing I could come up with to get a nonprofit status. The others is finding more volunteers, board members to help out. A lot of people say, I've never heard of you, even though I've been functioning since 2017. They've never heard of me. So those are going to be some of my top priorities this year. If I don't know who saw the article in the paper a couple of weeks ago about me looking glam and everything. If things don't happen by the end of the year, I will be shutting down. And that means that a lot of animals are going to be out on the streets. Right now, I think that people from the county are bringing their animals in to Alpine and dumping them so that they have a place to go. That puts an overload on the Alpine shelter. When they have 60 animals, they are overbooked and they can't take in any more. If a city animal comes in and an county animal comes in, they will take the city over the county. That means this dog is being dumped and everything. Brewster County, the Tri-County area is big enough that there needs to be a second county. I have taken in animals from Presidio, Marfa, Jeff Davis. So either doing a one county or doing a tri-county shelter that's big enough to accommodate everything. We really need it. The other stuff is making Marathon safer or I live in Marathon, so I'm going to be focused on it. Making Brewster County safer. Safer for pets and the people that are around. You can do animal ordinances, policies, and still keep your unincorporated status. The state has ordinances, policies that you can place and fit to your county and everything. The sheriff's department goes by those state ordinances, policies when they have to do animal control. But we can fix them to meet Brewster County. The conference that I went to in 22, I talked to the people, and it's called Laws for Paws. And that's the little one-day session that I was trying to get set up last year. And we could go over how to get policies done, how do we get them incorporated in for the county. The leash and containment laws and everything. We really need it. Everybody says, well, this is the way it's always been. We're unincorporated. We don't have to have this stuff. Times have changed and we need to get up with the changes and make it safer for people and pets. When in Marathon, I have seen a dog jump the fence and go after the tourists that are walking their dogs. She grabbed up the little dog. He pulled back the big dog because there was fixing to be a fight, and I jumped in between to keep the regular dog from having a dog fight. It shouldn't have to be that way. Right now, we have one dangerous dog situation in Marathon. We're fixing to have 3. There's 2 dogs on the south side that they are becoming aggressive towards people who are walking. We shouldn't have that out there. We need to make it safe for everybody, and that includes Presidio or Terlingua and Lajitas also, parts of Alpine and everything. We need to set this stuff in place or start a process. the nuisance dogs, dogs that are running around and irritating, pooping and peeing on other people's property or getting into the trash or picking fights with the people's dogs that are fenced in and everything. They're a nuisance. And I have 3 of them around my place. And I'm not going to do anything because if I do anything to the dogs, it's going to come back and bite me. We have the dangerous dogs. There's not really a requirement on it except for they have to be contained. Doesn't have a fence height. It doesn't have any specifications. When a dangerous dog is jumping a 6-foot fence to still get out, we need to put a height requirement or other requirements on it to keep the people safe and the dog safe. The dog is going to be the one ending the life. The people are going to be the ones that are going to be bitten and maimed or killed. And so it shouldn't be happening whatsoever. The number of dogs that people can have. We've got some people who have 13 dogs. That's a lot of dogs and everything. So how can we do a number control on getting a number that people are allowed or not have? The Alpine Animal Advisory Board might be able to help us out on some of this. I don't know. I know that Midland and Odessa was working on ordinances for the number of dogs, the spaying, the neutering, some of the stuff that I'm bringing up. So it's getting with them and seeing how we can maybe do something. I've got somebody who's just bought 2 little Aussies and she's going to be doing backyard breeding. And she's going to be keeping these dogs bred and selling them. The dogs are not vaccinated. And I know this for a fact. They're not vaccinated. They're going to be running around in town because they already are. And so how do we keep this backyard puppy mills is what they're referred to. How do we keep this puppy mill from happening in Marathon or Brewster County? I know that there's some instances down in Terlingua where some dogs, a large number of dogs was getting out and causing problems for everybody. And I think that got resolved and everything.
All
If
right.
people want to breed, then how do we set up being registered with the county or the city? And I don't know if that's where the Alpine Advisory, what they have, and is this something that we can follow?
All right, DJ, we got a long agenda here, but
Right.
let me just tell you where I'm coming from, and I think the court is. Your passion for the animals is commendable. I mean, it's awesome, and I feel the same way you do. I think taking care of our animals is a real important part of our community. I think for me, you're on the right track. I think when one person is advocating for something, it's hard for us to totally get behind it. What we want to see is a village advocating for it. So if you can get the village, i.e. your colleagues in Marathon, to form a nonprofit board, bring us the issues that you're talking about so that it will continue on forever. When you're long gone, it's kind of like what we did with the fire department down in Terlingua. We said, we need a good emergency services, and we began to put that together. And we left it so that board continues on in perpetuity. And that's what you guys need to do. If you do that, I think you'll get much more attention from the county than you would you being the lone voice. And I know you're wore out and you're trying to do everything, and I applaud that. But I think if you'll continue to move it in the direction of what is the strategy for Marathon, and get your colleagues in the community to help you with that'll go a long way. That's kind of where we are. It's not that we're not interested in animals and taking care of animals, but putting all these enforcement powers and law enforcement would have to be involved in that. I think we need to have a conversation with Alpine to see how that works.
Right.
You know, what can we do together? All good stuff, but I encourage you to keep pushing the project down the road. And I understand if you have to shut down at the end of the year, it is what it is. But you know, if you can get this thing up and running, I think that makes a lot of difference for us.
The one thing that people keep saying is Brewster County as a group is not responsible for everything that's done at the shelter. So the county would not be responsible for all of the bills or the maintenance or anything like that. And I think that's always been a big concern. Well, we can't afford it. And that I know, but it would be just like Alpine. You have certain things that the city does and the county does, or the Humane Society, or you have the volunteers and the fundraisers and all that to help support it. So it's not just on the county to do everything
Sure.
whatsoever.
And we're open to a dialogue once you get this, kind of this group formed. Any thoughts from the court? Comments?
So
No, I know Ruben's a force to be reckoned with in Marathon.
Potential board member.
So
Yes, as a board member.
can I
as a
ask
Over.
that I maybe be put back on the agenda in April? And I understand you are going to be coming to Marathon in April and doing a.
We have
And
a special commissioners meeting in April. I don't know the date of it, but in April, we'll be in Marathon at the community center.
could I be on the agenda and maybe give a little bit more information or try to find out a little bit more information?
I don't have a problem with DJ as long as I see the football being moved down the field. You know, if it's just, I mean, look, I'm not trying to, but if it's just
Repeat.
you every time, I can't make decisions on one person's opinion, because I've got opinions and, you
Right.
know, I want my road paved right now, and they're not listening. Well, you know what I'm saying? So, I need, and I think the commissioners court needs to see this being a group activity. And when the community gets behind something, if that's what they want to do, they may not, but if they do, then we're much more excited about working with them. So yes, the answer is if you think you can move the football down the field and give us some, but if we're just gonna have the same conversation, I think.
Over and over and
Yeah,
over
right.
again.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I ask. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming in.
Have a good day.
All right, number 11, discuss and take action to approve an interlocal agreement between the 5 counties related to the funding and management of an administrative position for the 394th. If you guys will recall, we approved this at the last commissioners meeting. Judge Kimball has asked for an additional administrative assistant, and that cost of that will be split across all 5 counties. We approved our share of that funding, which is 39% of the cost of that. This funding is just through the end of this fiscal year, and then we're going to reset the budget for 26. This is just simply the approval of the interlocal agreement between the counties. The other counties, I believe Presidio is going to, either y'all going to have your, when is y'all's meeting? Tomorrow. So I think the other counties, Hudspeth will be in this week, Culberson's in, I think, I'm assuming you guys will probably be in, and then Jeff Davis is in this week, so. The funding's in place, and we're gonna be the fiscal agent on this for this particular position until the end of the fiscal year, and then we're gonna redo the whole budget for the 394th. So I'm asking for approval of this interlocal agreement. Okay. Motion, need a second?
I'll second.
Motion is second, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, number 12, discuss and take action to approve a line item adjustment in the 83rd District Attorney's budget for $35,000. Some of you may be aware that the District Attorney engaged in some litigation last year related to some a claim for wrongful termination. That litigation has settled, and now there's a legal bill associated with that. We had been approached last year to assist with that. We declined that. We didn't feel like we wanted to spend that money over on top of the $98,000 we were already spending. But they've been able to save it within their budget. And so they've got a line item. They've got sufficient funds to pay the $35,000 to the legal fees associated with this litigation. And what they need let's see, how many counties are in this agreement? 4 of us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us, right? No. Who's in the 83rd? Us, Pecos, Jeff Davis, and Presidio. Okay. So this is just an approval of the line item adjustment. Pecos is the fiscal agent. They'll handle it. No new money for us.
I move we approve the line item adjustment in the 83rd District Attorney's budget for $35,000.
Second.
Motion and second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you, guys. All right, number 13, review and discuss and take action on approving the following grant application resolutions. Looks like we got a bunch of them. Jackie.
This is still the old one. Good morning. I'm gonna start with B. I made an error in the paperwork that I sent to Jenny. It is supposed to be for the fiscal year 2025, not 24.
Okay.
We are always a year behind on Stone Garden, so when I was setting those up, I just you're behind anyway. So going with the budget on that, it's a $364,000 budget. That is our primary source for overtime for the deputies. There will also be an allowance for fuel for the full-time deputy and the overtime deputies, as well as maintenance, which we usually use tires, replace the tires on all the vehicles and stuff like that using those funds. As well, the big ticket item for that is going to be a license plate reader. I know Captain Holguin is looking at different license plate readers, more compact ones that we can put up in different areas of concern and things rather than just using the Buckeye cameras. The license plate reader cameras give us a more detailed image. They give us obviously the license plate that goes with the vehicle for the trespassing and stuff that's been going on some of the ranches and properties in the area. They're a lot cheaper. They're about $6,000 versus the $47,000 that one would cost us normally.
So the little white trailer is 6,000. The big one with the.
No, the little white trailers are about 42,000.
Oh,
So
okay.
these are more compact.
Oh, I see.
And you can put them on the fence lines and things like that. But that's just something they're looking into at this point. So that's gonna be all for Stone Garden.
All right, so that's $364,000 to be spread across overtime, fuel, maintenance, cameras. Okay. You want to do these one by one, guys, or do you want to do them all at once?
And that's for Stone Garden 23,
I'm sorry,
and that's for
25.
25.
25.
Okay.
You want to do them one at a time, or do you
I'll
want?
make a motion to approve Stone Garden 25 grant resolution.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any word, I guess on all these, any chatter about these grants being cut back or reduced or anything like that?
No, sir. Stone Garden is really our,
Not yet.
well, I was gonna say Stone Garden is really our only federal one out of these.
Uh-huh.
That one comes directly from Department of Homeland Security because we work in interagency with Border Patrol. Operation Lone Star, the body cameras, those are all coming from the state. So they're not really gonna be affected as much in the same way that like the Department of Homeland grants are.
The Lone Star monies from the state, that's not really federal money hiding under state umbrellas. It's truly state money.
It's coming from Department of Public Safety.
Okay, all right. Because I know a lot of times it comes from the feds through the.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, what do you want to do next? Multi-jurisdictional?
Yes, I'll go back to that one. The multi-jurisdictional we've applied for last year and tried again this year. It's $140,000 to implement a simulcast system that right now our radios, you have to constantly switch NorthNet to SouthNet in the vehicles, the ambulance, everybody that's traveling. Whether it be South 385 and Marathon, South County, Terlingua area. This would eliminate that. It's a smoother transition. It allows for direct communication from one area to the next. Right now, a lot of times they can't hear each other. If South County's doing something, North County won't always necessarily hear them. This is supposed to eliminate and create a smoother transition for everybody.
Jackie, we have the cart before the horse on this one because we just approved that device in COG.
Right, I have to do a resolution for it anyway.
Oh, this is a resolution for it. Okay. So we already got, this is just saying, yeah, we want to accept it.
Yes,
Okay, yeah, so but just FYI, the COG approved $141,000 for that piece of equipment that you just talked about for Brewster County. Okay. I'll make a motion, we accept the multi-jurisdictional resolution as presented.
I'll second.
Motion is second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Go ahead, body cameras.
Body cameras, it's just that the 5-year contract that we have with Axon, we have 26,000 that we get from the state, and then we have a cash match of 9,000. It's for upgrades, the multi-dock stations that we have set up, the body cameras themselves, software, et cetera.
They're not the one that we,
About last year.
Mhm.
And they're working good. You're happy with them?
Yeah.
And all the downloads and all the files and all that. Where does the 9,000 come from? The match? Where does that come out of? What we get?
Sheriff's budget.
I love it when it comes from the sheriff's.
That kind of goes into the Lone Star. I'll cover that, what we did there.
Okay. Body camera, how much is that? I'm sorry.
26,000 roughly from the state, 9,000 for the cash match.
Might want to make a motion for that.
someone.
Second.
Motion second. Discussion on body cameras. All in favor, say aye. All right, Operation Lone Star.
So Operation Lone Star, this year I'm asking for 472,000. It's gonna cover 3 full-time deputies, fuel, maintenance on their vehicles. Cologic, which is our software that we use in both the jail dispatch, report management system that they use out of the sheriff's office. That is typically budgeted in the sheriff's every year. So what we did was we took the body cam software and applied that to that line item. The second big item on there is gonna be upgrading Mount Ward. Right now, the tower up on Mount Ward doesn't have a backup generator. So Kenneth will be going through and reorganizing and setting up a battery backup, like we have down on Elephant Mountain. So that if the power goes out, anything like that, then it just trips that and automatically picks up that battery. I've been working with Marisa at the COG for an additional console for dispatch. Just setting up, since we already have 2 911 stations and everything set up in there, setting up a secondary to add for, just influx of calls or anything like that. Part of the budget that I'm trying to secure from Lone Star is additional equipment, just the computers, the monitors, things like that. And then the final thing is a Starlink conversion for the sheriff's office. TFM seems to be having a lot of luck and doing really well with theirs. So we're looking into, especially in the South County area, we're losing a lot of communications out on Turlingwood Ranch, down in Lajitas. This should help eliminate that. It's going to be a large project. So any money that we can start taking out to start converting some of the vehicles is where we're headed for that.
But Operation Lone Star grant money is eligible for that?
Yes, sir.
You can use it for that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't
And
know.
you said at the start that it was 3 deputies that we already have already, right? We're not
Yes.
adding more. Make a motion to approve Lone Star, Operation Lone Star.
second.
Second to approve Lone Star as presented. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I don't want to be morbid about it, but one of the things I want us to look at this year is, I sure would like to know how dependent we are on, without this money, I don't know how you guys would operate your. And you'd be driving, 76 Ford 150s. I mean, really, I think it's important for us to know how much we're dependent on grant money to survive in the sheriff's office. I'm not suggesting we change anything, in fact, it's been great, but it's a big number, isn't it?
Yes.
I think we've doubled in size since I became a commissioner. As far as number of deputies.
I mean, no
We have
complaints, I'm not,
12 that are solely grant funded deputies.
And we've always gone to those grants with an attitude of, if whatever happens, those things aren't secure. So when you see us buying an influx of vehicles, we're trying to get those better vehicles. It's with in mind that we may be driving these vehicles for 2 decades,
right,
but right now we're getting while we can.
right.
Take care of it.
Is there any money in any of these 4 vehicles?
Not that we've applied for. The last vehicle that we got was basically told that would be the last one for a while.
So can you take Lone Star money and buy vehicles with it?
Yes, sir.
You can?
Exactly. That's where we bought the Fords and the Tahoes that we purchased.
I mean, I guess my question is, it's kind of like the fire department. We always, instead of buying 20 SCBA's every 10 years, we would just rotate, you know. So I assume that y'all have vehicles coming out and you're gonna buy 1 or 2 new ones every year as opposed to waiting to wear all the way
Like some of
around.
these projects she's going through, you know, if we end up where a project didn't get what we needed it to, or we can reprogram some of that fund, that's usually what we put them towards, is
These
vehicle or
vehicles.
vehicle equipment, and just trying to keep up with that type of maintenance.
You know, that Starlink thing is a game changer.
Yeah, that's good.
Man, it is, I have it on my.
Oh, do you? Yeah,
We're really excited about it.
DFIMs can talk and use the internet all the way up through the flats.
One of the neat things is right now in our patrol cars, we use those jetpacks, and that's what gets us our computers. Well, the jetpacks are only in the more populated areas.
Right.
So, of course, the jetpacks, we pay, you know, almost $50 a month per jetpack. So by Starlink, we're gonna be able to pull those jetpacks out, put the better equipment in there, and use the money we're already using towards the jetpacks to offset some of that funding that we're gonna put towards Starlink and get us complete communications all the time. And that the radio and the computer and several of the other pieces of equipment that can link into those cars, and it's officer safety. We're putting a computer in dispatch that can actually track those vehicles, and if there's an emergency, no matter where, those officers can hit that button and it'll tell the dispatcher their coordinates, their location, whatever's going on. We're in that process right now, and it's just gonna enhance that.
That's
We're really excited.
Safety is good.
Yeah, and that'll also get rid of all those Iridium satellite phones. That's $500 a month. That's $6,000 in Iridium.
I have to say though, those old satellite phones, we've stuck with them so long, but man, that guy has been so good to us. over
Yeah,
the
they
years.
have, they have.
And so, you know, we've outlasted, you know, everybody else is way ahead of us in that, but man, that guy's been so good to us.
Yeah,
You know, his
Alton services.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we'll keep them until we don't need them anymore, but I assume Starlink will make that obsolete.
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, anything else? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Let's do some road and bridge work.
All done.
All done, good. Yay. Everything's paved and you're ready to go, huh? Everything's paved and you don't have to do anything.
Getting there.
All right, what you got?
No, we finally finished up the pad for the clinic, and we still probably have to go back and do some cosmetic, depending on what the judge is gonna.
Once we get the handicap ramp built, then we'll be ready to do the parking lot in front of it.
Okay.
And that'll be finished this week, I'm hoping. So, next couple of weeks.
And then while we were there, it brought to my attention that on Allen Drive, it needed some work, so they're still working on it. It did need a lot of work. We have had to haul some material from Kasi to blend in with what's there and kind of strengthen the road up a little bit. Cleaned up some trash around the fire station
Good.
at the judge's request. We're back to patching. Some of the small patching, like we did some on Wagon Road. They're out on Cemetery Road today. There's one guy in Marathon. So we're back to our normal maintenance routine. And we're almost in I need to get some figures together so we can start ordering some material.
Just out of curiosity, because I know we're gonna get asked, what do you guys think on Sterling Ranch Road? What is if you had to pick a time without committing to it? Summer,
No,
fall?
After it rains.
I think,
What is that?
I think we're gonna take advantage of some of the roads here. Because further south stays warmer longer and we can pave down there, later into the season. And it'll be a little bit cooler for the guys, but then the summer down there. We're gonna take care of the heat, hopefully up here, but we're gonna start also on Fulton Road, hauling them, the millings in there, so. I thought,
They hauled some millings from TxDOT's yard to the yard at Tolingua.
Yeah.
We were just waiting on, kind of part of the big bulk of the spring break to be able. I talked to some guys on Fulton Road already and told them that we're gonna be dumping on one side or the other of the road. Whichever one doesn't have an entrance, we're gonna use the opposite side and stop piling, going down through there because. Johnny and the boys can, once they start spreading it'll go faster and we can haul it. But we gotta get ahead of it, hauling it first and then. We got the other dump truck back now. So
What do we do? Go all the way to the low water crossing?
I think we're gonna try to go to there, yes, sir. Mainly right now that the people complaining is right there as you drop off of Roadrunners people. Those are the worst ones.
Yeah.
Okay, so if asked, we're gonna tell you, say, Hill Ranch Road, some probably fallish.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
If, it'd be better if we wait until it cools down there, cause if we start paving when it's hot.
Yeah.
We're just gonna peel it up.
Okay, no problem. I know Sarah and I and Ruben will all get asked, so.
Well, we need to be paving up here and take advantage because we'll lose our timetable here. And it doesn't matter where we start. I mean, as far as which road we do here, they all need.
Sure.
We're so far behind them. We're 5 years behind on that.
Mo hadn't paid my road.
No,
Yes.
we're not, it's.
I'd like to start.
Way down the list.
No,
I'd like to start a program on Foxy and some of the roads that we don't get to pave. To preserve them. So they don't. Start popping out like they have been.
Yeah.
okay, anything else, Greg?
No, sir, not at the
Any
moment.
permits this morning?
No permits.
All right. Number 15, emergency management, James.
Just send this out, let y'all check it out. Our, drop monitor increased again. It is all 5 counties now.
Okay.
It's gonna rain start tomorrow.
Promise?
Yeah, super dry. Still keep the burn ban in place. And then I too am looking at Starlink. I've been pricing it. It's hard to get a grant for something that, because the price is kind of low, because it's $800 for the Starlink Mini. And then for the solar power and everything like that comes to about $1,000. So the whole unit wise will come to about $2,000 to $3,000. And then subscription's about $100 a month. So, I mean, it's not bad. Just, I mean, just getting it's the hard part.
The one I've got, James has got, it's $250. And it's got a 8-hour pack on it.
Okay.
Battery pack on it, and it's $50 per month on it.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't know what all your intent, how much data you're gonna use on yours, you know?
Well, since I'm usually first on scene for most incidents, my fire department can bounce off of my signal. So in case we need to do anything and communicate where we're out in the middle of nowhere. That was my kind of thinking behind it, because I want to get ones for the units as well, but I think with just my unit and the range on it, all the other surrounding units will be able to pick up on my.
Yeah, because on that truck rollover last week, they were able to take the ambulance and make that the central. And then everybody tied their cell phones into that. Right.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yep, so if we have
That's
something
how
like
mine,
that.
everybody in the truck ties into it and it actually makes a hunt be bad because everybody's on the phone the whole time.
Right.
Playing Angry Birds.
Everybody's saying, yeah.
So sometimes it's best not to have communication in the middle of the well, you need it. Yeah.
That's all I got.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
What do you got to ask? Are we having trash, day this year?
Yeah, we've got a dump day in Terlingua,
April 5th.
April 5th, and then one in Marathon on
April 26th.
26th.
Well, I need to set a date per Alpine.
Oh, yeah.
I'm working with TDS already on it, so seemed like a little bit more lenient. I think they're gonna help, we're gonna coordinate the metal, give them the metal and they'll just a little bit more lenient on their.
Yes.
I've been on the phone with him, several times. So do we wanna set a date? So, because the dump is no longer open on Saturdays.
Oh dear.
Oh, yes, sir. But they will open on a Saturday
Russ?
for,
I'll go up here.
yes, sir.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know either till this morning.
Well, that's inconvenient.
But they will open on Saturday, but I need a date. The 3rd, May 3rd.
May 3rd. Okay.
May 3rd, Johnny?
So May 3rd, Alpine.
Yeah.
April 25th, Marathon,
26.
26th. And then April 5th, El Salvador.
So we're doing south first because it's hot. We'll get that one out of the way.
I don't want to die of heat stroke.
Thank you. All right, number 16, treasurer's office.
Okay, wait, before that, I need to go back to May the 3rd. Need one of you guys to be on there to manage the,
Be the police.
yes,
Is that Westerman and Morrow?
yes, they can alternate. Can you commit that day? I mean, that's one of the deals with TDS. They want somebody there to control
I think,
the construction companies from dumping.
This is April 3rd,
May.
May
May 3rd, I mean.
I think I can, but I need to check. I have daughters getting married,
Oh no.
That's plural.
so I have parties. But let me check, see if I,
Helen's getting married? Helen?
and her older sister too.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think we're off the agenda now, so let's.
Sorry.
All right, May 3rd.
I'll check, I'll let you know.
May 3rd, Westerman in charge with Bo providing a wingman second.
Okay, and then we can have Johnny,
And I'll be here.
and Johnny to maybe help also. Maybe I can alternate all 3 of you through there.
All right, perfect.
Thank you.
You bet. Number 16, treasurer's office.
Morning. For item A, I'm going to present my monthly treasurer's report for February 2025. At the end of February, the total cash on hand we had was $18,737,649. And I do want to add that when I report the cash on hand to you all, that does include all the elected officials' cash on hand, all the tax assessor accounts and the JPs and the clerks. So I just wanted to just point that out when I'm reporting the cash on hand. That does include all the other elected official bank accounts. For our debt, the outstanding principal we had at the end of February for our refunding bonds was $711,353. Our 2022 cap mulcher had a outstanding principal of $17,000. Our pneumatic roller had an outstanding principal of $41,000. The total interest earned for the month of February from our various bank accounts and investment pools is $61,357. Do y'all have any questions so far? Looking at our general fund revenues at the end of February, we had brought in $4,957,324. Almost half of what we budgeted. Expenses was $3,000,005. Wanted to add that our property tax collections at the end of February was $4,005,977. So that's 14% remaining in property taxes to collect for the year. The total of our delinquent taxes and our penalty and interest at the end of February was $121,857 sales tax. So in February, I received it in December sales tax, so I'm gonna give you the first quarter, which was October, November, and December. So the sales tax we collected was 277,000 for that first quarter, which is very good. Let me see, tourism at the end of February in revenues, we collected 836,000. And so that includes October, November, December, and some of January's revenue.
When do we get our PILT money? In June?
June, July, yes,
Okay.
sir, July.
Let me ask you a question. When does current taxes become delinquent taxes? When does that make that
On
switch?
the January 31st or the February 1st?
So anything that's not collected on January 31st gets thrown into the delinquent tax. In other words, if we collect something right now,
Yes,
somebody pays us $10 for their back taxes, it'll show up under the delinquent tax
yes, sir,
line item.
yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So effectively, everything that we see
Going forward,
going forward is going to show up in the,
delinquent taxes, yeah.
so $694,000 is what we've got left against our budget.
Yes, sir,
That'll all end up in delinquent taxes if it's all collected.
yes, sir.
Okay.
Correct.
All right.
Any questions for the monthly report?
How's our prisoner thing doing? I bet we're way behind on that.
We are a little bit.
Yeah.
With Hector County,
Well, yeah, we don't have hardly any extra counties anymore.
we're stopped.
We see Pecos County, I think we're starting to get some from Jeff Davis County,
Well, we haven't yet.
not yet.
We've made them an offer to take over their dispatching in their
Mhm.
jail,
Mhm.
but they haven't given us an answer yet.
Okay.
So we're at. let's
And
see.
I'm still getting, US Marshal money, I think, the last amount was about 29,000 for a couple of months ago.
Yeah, so we budgeted at 450,000. We've only collected. Well, we collected 37 plus 109, so we've collected 146,000. So it's not horrible.
We're down about 50%.
Yeah. Only something we're gonna have to look at.
Sir, we used to have, almost $1 million budget on federal prisoners a long time ago.
Right.
Almost.
And interest rates aren't what they used to be.
No, sir.
Anybody have any questions for Julie? All right, I'll make a motion that we accept the financial report through the end of February, right?
Yes, sir.
As presented.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. All right.
And I just wanted to announce to the court that our Aflac benefits advisor, Lucy, is in the conference room all week. If y'all want to, discuss any, if y'all would interested in any, find any supplemental insurance, from her, or, if you just want to decline the coverage, she does have a form that says I decline coverage, and then you can go on. But if you want to talk to her, she's in the conference room all week.
And was my sufficient or do I have to go sign?
If you want to, she usually doesn't collect from elected officials, but if you want to.
No, I don't want to.
Okay. That's fine.
Well, we have to either accept or decline.
Yes, sir.
Just not doing anything is not an option.
Mm.
Okay.
So Julie,
Oh, and that, yes,
so do the employees go
yes, sir.
one at a time, or you want them all there at once?
Whatever you want, sir. It doesn't take that long unless they do want to set some time aside and discuss all the policies that they offer.
I'll ask the crew and see what. we can
Okay.
come up with.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else?
That's it, sir.
All right, Melinda, Comptroller's Office.
Okay, let's look at bills first. You should have two packages of bills. One was paid last Tuesday on the 18th. We had $27,046.42 out of the general fund, 78,000 out of others, for a total of 105,269.91. And then,
Real quick, can I ask some questions?
sure.
What category is 913?
913 is one of the grants.
Okay.
It's the Haida Alpine grant from 2023.
Okay, and then, I just noticed the Citibank, we have $613
Number 2 there.
right off the bat in Adobe subscriptions, which is something we'll look at.
The Adobe subscriptions are literally all over the place.
Yeah.
So I think if we go through the budget process,
Right.
try to get a list of all of the software, not just Adobe, but all of the software subscriptions that various departments have. And in the new software, we started trying to set it up in 25, but we will have a specific line item for software.
I think when we bring the guys back in from the IT guys,
Mhm,
and we put all of the workstations under one server,
mhm.
then we'll be able to put subscriptions under that, then they can be updated across the board. All right, another question is, what is 010665?
Touched.
Luke Hendricks.
Oh, that's Hendrix.
Yeah, the
Okay,
ag
gotcha.
extension.
All right. And then, we buy fuel for the sheriff's office from
Shazam.
Corliss
Thank you.
Petroleum.
Appreciate it.
Is that the card?
Yes.
Is that the card? And
The
then,
gas card.
and then we buy bulk fuel from the buddy,
Yes.
Yeah.
whatever it's called, PG
PG
fuels.
fuels.
Okay, so we had $7,000 in gas card expenses just in keeping vehicles fueled up. Okay.
Yeah, one of the things that I'd kind of like to see us start doing on that is a little bit better reconciliation between mileage, usage, vehicle, and what's getting charged to the gas cards. So that we can kind of track it a little bit better.
Right. Okay. All right, that's all I had on
Did you find that,
bills paid.
that one for the insulation?
Yeah, there was a payment for the insulation for the fire station at, what was the name of the vendor?
Foam, foam or something like that.
I have not seen that. I know, I remember you discussing it in court, but I have not seen
I
it.
sent it to Butsy last week.
I will double check when I get back over there. I have not seen
Would you
it.
check on that? It's a $15,000 invoice and it's coming out of the project list.
Right,
It's part of the finishing up the fire station at Marathon.
right. I remember the discussion. I just have not seen that invoice.
Yeah, and so today is Tuesday, so if it's on our desk, it gets paid.
It was supposed to have been there last week.
Okay.
Should be in the bills here.
It should be, if he sent it over last week. I apologize, Ruben. I'll follow up on it as soon as I get back over there.
Thank you.
Oh, I sent it on the 11th.
Which brings up another question, Melinda, I'm still confused. So Patty doesn't have to do all this. She just needs to bring us the bills that have already been paid every time. So she doesn't really have to do I guess this is the in-between week, right?
The 18th is the in-between week, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I would argue she could just get rid of the to be paid file. Since we're paying them on your program of Wednesday, you pay them on Tuesday, you just bring them in every commissioner's court, everything that's been paid since the last commissioner's court, if that makes her life simpler.
I think it's just at this point, she's kind of got a process that's set up. One of the things that I've considered doing,
Alpha insulation, I'm sorry.
alpha insulation.
What's that?
James, aren't you 010413?
What?
Okay, you've got $2,080 in emergency prepared radios. charge to your,
I don't know what that is. I haven't bought any radios at all.
Did you, sir?
no, I'd like to, but I haven't.
Yeah. You know what
Let's
you're
check on that. Maybe slung in the wrong place or it's coded wrong.
Well, I remember seeing that and it was I remember seeing a signed invoice on it.
I don't know what. It's not the ham radio thing we talked about. All right, let's check on that. Okay.
Okay. Just one question for y'all when we're talking about the format of the reports is, do y'all really need this typed up summary sheet? Or can you use the, claims list that comes printed out of the system so that she doesn't have to take the time to retype everything?
I think since it breaks it out by the entities, I think you could do it just.
It breaks it, well, the accounts payable register is broken out by entities, but there's also attached to that an accounts payable claims list.
Yeah,
It breaks it out by department so that you can kind of,
honestly, if you just had this,
that's all you need.
that's all I need. I mean, it's the same thing twice.
Same thing twice.
We're killing two forests. The last set right here.
But I-
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Two sets, because if you're looking for like the payee alphabetically, if you know who's looking.
It's easier to
you
find
look for it
That
alphabetically,
way,
and you know which
if you're looking for
department it is,
it-
yeah.
If you're looking
Okay,
for it in
that's
the
fine.
department, but my point is both of those are able to be printed out of the system.
Yeah, she doesn't have to
I
manually
don't
create it.
see that there's.
I'd get rid of the
any
spreadsheet.
To create
Right.
this. So
I
that
agree.
would definitely save some time.
All right. Another question is, Robert, do we pay for, directors and officers liability insurance for the board for BCPC?
That's from the COVID era, in case anything happened, that the board wouldn't be sued because we're bringing people in. But it came about during COVID, we still do it. Any liability on the board, because they're not county employees, they're not covered under county insurance. If someone were to say, you advertised and brought some to the big den and then I tripped and died and lost money, well, that there's liability insurance in the litigious world we're in right now, the boards.
Well, I mean, that one is a liability policy. The other one you're talking about is the directors and officers. Do you know which one this is? Is it?
Directors and officers.
So it's really for, I don't know that it would cover something like that.
It should, yeah, I went to Tally Reed and then I explained what we needed and it should. I did the same thing for Davis. They have directors and officers insurance too as well for all the board members. If it's unnecessary, we can do away with it. It came about during COVID.
Yeah, I want to research that because my reaction is that, people that serve on the advisory board, we're the ultimate, deciders on this. I mean, y'all are simply an advisory board, you have no decision making. So at the end of the day, it falls on the commissioner's court and we've got sovereignty. So I think we could save $1,200 a year.
Sure.
And not have that. We'll look into it.
Oh, yeah, not a problem with me at all, and not a problem with the board either, it came about.
Y'all have any problem with that? I know why we would need to carry
I
it.
don't. No problem at all.
All right, one other question, Melinda, on.
Yeah.
Sorry. What is pro billing and funding? That's under road and bridge. Looks like you did some repairs, Johnny. $8,000 worth of repairs, 4 different bills. What were you repairing?
Oh, that was the truck,
All of that was the truck?
truck and trailer.
There was nothing wrong with the trailer, was there?
The air brakes, they had the air brake system locked up on it.
This is the one we're talking about replacing, maybe?
No, there was the dump trailer.
Oh, okay.
Where we should have a quote on that truck for this afternoon for you.
Okay, so the $8,000 was on an existing truck,
Yes,
a dump truck.
No, the.
dump trailer.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Where are they out of? El Paso?
Yes.
You couldn't fix that yourself? Didn't have room to fix it. All right, that's all I got, Melinda.
Okay. Onward to the next one. This is the one that we've discussed a couple of times. There was an appointment of an indigent defense counsel back in, apparently back in July or in January of 2024. went to trial in August. We got an invoice December, January. We'd kind of heard about it hanging out there. This is that $40,000 or actually $39,000 invoice. We had budgeted $50,000 for indigent defense for the current year. This is actually going back into 24 because that is when the services were performed.
Do we need to approve the two sets of bills first? Before
Oh,
we talk about this
yes.
one?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. Okay.
Good call.
I move to approve the two sets of bills as presented.
I'll second.
Motion is second, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, go ahead, Lauren.
So technically, this invoice should be back in 2024. What I was told, since we have already filed our 2024 indigent defense report that was due in October. And the advice from them was go ahead and just include it in 25, and then we will file that amount with our 25 report. But either way, we're going to have to do a budget adjustment for that. And just looking at the amounts coming in so far, just on other things, when we do the mid-year review on that, we might want to look at increasing that budget just for general purposes. But this is one of those that just, it kind of came out of the blue.
Well, this one kind of burns my biscuits, but that's another story. We're gonna take it out of surplus 24, is that what we'll do?
No, I'm taking it out of,
25s,
I'd like to take it out of 25.
and then when we get short in
I think
25,
I put it 25, and then when we're short in 25, we're gonna need to go ahead and do a budget adjustment.
I mean, this indigent thing's killing us. I mean, I just signed 2 deals where Far West Texas couldn't handle it because they have a conflict. So I now had to appoint an attorney to represent the defendant on 2 separate occasions. Now, that's not a
Is
ton,
that two
like,
new ones
2 brand new ones.
that I haven't even seen yet?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just happened.
So, I mean, it's a pretty constant stream of them. One of the things that we've started doing is asking that as the appointment is made, that information be forwarded over to the finance office. I know Judge has been pretty good so far about doing that. I have not seen that information coming from the district court yet, so I don't know how many appointments we have over there.
Well,
I need to track
more
that
than I've
down.
talked to Judge Kimball about, going forward, we understand things pop up, but we can't be blindsided 6 months after they occur and, oh, here's 40,000, you gotta pay. This stems from that sentencing. You guys familiar with the woman that was convicted, running over her husband or boyfriend or something? She was convicted, they had a resentencing hearing, and this was for that defense. So. That just drives me crazy if we have a $40,000 pop-up. I could clean trees up at the post park for that.
Yeah.
Well, and the other ones that I've noticed in looking back through 24 to do the 24 report, and then what we've got so far in 25 is in total, there may be multiple invoices, but that an attorney sends in with the vouchers. And they are, they individually, they come in at like 1,500 or 2,000. But overall, it seems like it's somewhere between $4,000 and $6,000 per. And so that's not many cases when you say, okay, we've budgeted 50,000.
All right, I make a motion that we accept the bill is presented for 39,000 and some change to be taken out of the 25 indigent fund, which we have the sufficient funds right now to do.
I'll second.
Motion is second, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, what else you got, Rhonda?
We're plugging away on the software conversion. We are set to do the configuration on the software the next to last week in April. And the last week in April is the go live date. The end of April is going to be pretty busy. So just for a heads up, on the 20, let me make sure I've got my date right. Hang on that. On the 23rd of April, we are going to be, we're gonna be doing our final, or one of our final data extractions from net data that gets pulled over into Tyler. So when that takes place, from that point until after we go live in Tyler, we cannot enter anything in net data, and that includes cutting checks. So just a heads up, if there is anything that needs to be paid, I would say into that first week of May, let's try to get it in and get it done early, in that week of the 14th, because we'll have a commissioner's court on the 22nd, we can pay bills then. But then we will not be able to pay bills on the 29th, and that will kind of be on hold until we get to that first Tuesday in May, which is gonna be May the 6th.
So we have about
So
a
just-
2-week dead period.
We got almost a 2-week dead period in there for bills, so just kind of be aware of that, since we normally pay on a weekly basis.
By the way, the 21 audit should be in our hands. We'll believe it when I see it, but 21 audit will be here Friday. And we got the preliminary and we're answering questions today. You're on top of that, Julie. Okay. I know Patty's out, so thank you for doing that. And then 22 comes right behind it, and then we'll be into 23. So good Lord. We're getting close.
Yeah, and quick question for you, or we can look at this later, but if you can get me the dates on that, the IT switchover, if you can get me the dates for that so that I am aware if we've got any kind of conflict on any of the stuff that we've got on the books, I would appreciate it.
All right, we'll do. All right, anything else?
Sent you a copy of that bill and I sent Patty another copy on it. Melinda.
Okay, I'm gonna look at it as soon as I get back over there, but again, I apologize. I do not remember seeing that invoice anywhere.
I resent it, so maybe we can. The guys patiently waiting.
I understand. We'll get it taken care of as soon as
Thank you.
possible.
All right, thank you, Melinda. All right, Brewster County Tourism.
Good morning, everybody. We're still rocking and rolling, wrapping up our spring show season. I just got back yesterday from the Dallas Travel Adventure Show. Went very well. That's a show series that you guys have approved. It's basically the show that we can justify the most ROI on. It's a professional series throughout the country. And this year, or Dallas really went great. I got to go and do another 30-minute talk on the park and all that good stuff up on the main stage. And this one, there were about double the people that were in Phoenix. So that was kind of nice. There were maybe like 70, 80 people in the crowd. So that was a really nice way to pinpoint. And then afterwards, they come ask questions. They go to the booth. A lot of folks, we about ran out of giveaways and brochures on the first day. So this is still a very viable show. Next year, we're thinking about adding a few. This year we did New York, Phoenix, and Dallas. Next year, we're planning on adding Denver and Florida, some other markets that we don't go into very often. So, but that'll be a 5-show series next year with the travel adventure folks. So still going very, very well. Upcoming shows, we have the Travel Expo. This is where we go and talk to all the tech stock folks, all the folks at the tech centers around the state. The staff's going to handle that one. Aaron and Adela are going to go do that. And that's coming up at the end of April. And then we're already looking forward to IPW, the big international show that comes to the US. That'll take place in Chicago in June. So we're planning meetings next week with Visit El Paso. We'll partner with them again. And yeah, that show's always great. So that's what's coming up as far as shows go. But general consumer shows, we're kind of wrapping it up with this last weekend in Dallas. Spring break's been going on, busy down south. That goes without saying. We did something this year a little bit different to try and fill hotel rooms. You know, again, we understand that we're the economic driver for the area, but at the end of the day, our income is hotel tax based. So we sent out an email to all hoteliers that we have on our email list, asking if you have any availabilities, if you have holes, if you have something, if you're not full. Let us know and we'll help you out. And our public relations folks, Good Works, that handles our social media, kind of put a Google Doc on there and we sent out an email. And we had a whopping 3 responses. So basically everybody was full. I don't have true data on that, but just extrapolating what I can, we were sitting at 90% occupancy for most of March. Most of our folks were pretty full. So that's great. The hot numbers should be fantastic. But it was neat to actually ask the hoteliers, do you have holes? And then only 3 people said, hey, yeah, we got a few, considering the 100 and something that we have on the rolls. So not bad at all. The Board of Directors will meet May 7th. It is set now for sure in Lajitas. We'll address the bylaws changes that you have, Judge. That is May 7th in Lajitas. And we were not requiring, but we're asking very strongly that everybody show up in person for this one down there in Lajitas. We'll have a luncheon before. Y'all are all welcome if you'd like to come. And then we'll have our business meeting there in the Lajitas boardroom again, May 7th. Lunch at 11:30 and the meeting kicking off at 1 sharp. Our website, we're still in the mode to get the new one done. I'm just, whenever you let me know, I'll give him access.
Email this morning.
Yes, sir. Okay, great.
He's gonna need, he needs access.
And I wanted to ask you today at court, is that okay? May I give him access?
Give him access.
All right, I wanted to ask before I did it, just because that's our bread and butter, the website. It's a sure thing. I'll do that right as soon as we get done here. Yes, sir. So hopefully, according to his plans and the presentation that he gave, sometime this summer, we'll have a brand new Visit Big Bend website with video, all kinds of stuff. So it'll be a big change from what we have now. It'll actually be a website that looks like it's from this century. So I hope that happens sooner rather than later, but we'll keep you posted on that. One thing that I want to mention, the last thing that I have for you guys, we just kind of put this together during the last couple of weeks that I was traveling. You know, you're sitting in a hotel room and you're not home, your mind wanders. We've decided to do something for Dark Sky Week this year that also corresponds with Earth Day. On April 22nd, I just have to make sure that so to speak, make sure that the film folks can come down for it. We're going to have an event over in Marathon at the Marathon Motel to showcase a short film on the dark skies that we actually supplemented back in 2019, I think it was, they filmed. And then, of course, you know, the pandemic happened, so it kind of sat on the shelf. They've released it. They've gotten some great response. It's only about an hour film. We have the large segment of it about dark skies and Big Bend, but they also did other national parks. So we'll showcase that, premiere it over there at the Marathon Motel on that April 22nd, excuse me. And then we've kind of asked them if we could buy out the Sky Park, so anyone after they see the film can go back and enjoy a free session of looking at the stars out there. So that'll go correspond again. That's International Dark Sky Week, the 22nd through the 27th, I believe. But sorry, 21st through the 27th, and April 22nd will be the event date. That is actually Earth Day. So we'll do something for that. We generally don't, but this year, the people who produced that film asked us if we could do a screening here, and everything seemed to work together. So we'll get information on that to you guys. We'd love to have, of course, anybody that show up over there. But Commissioner Ortega, if you're available, you know, since that's your area marathon, we'd love to have you over there. Say a few words if you'd like. It's entirely up to you. And the offices going along just fine. That's about it.
Are we Texas Film Commission certified?
Our community, no. Since we're not a city, it's difficult. I've asked them, and there's also they have certification of a tour-friendly city. I asked them that too last year, and they're like, we're not ready to really do that for regions or counties yet. They're just doing municipalities. So Alpine is a film-friendly city, but we don't have the ability to do that with any others. I'd love to make Terlingua a film-friendly city, but since they're not incorporated, it's kind of difficult.
Let's make some calls. I mean,
they're
not understanding who we are.
Exactly.
I mean,
yeah.
Okay.
I've asked them, and if you'd like to make a call, we have a lot more weight from you. Yes, sir.
What was the other one? City, what was it? Tourism friendly city? What?
Tourism friendly city. Yeah, they actually have.
Certifies that.
The state. Same thing through Travel Texas. Yes, sir. It's a new program they started last year, and I wanted to jump on it. They have music friendly, tourism friendly, and then film friendly. They have 3 separate categories. Alpine's also a film.
We ought to be the king of tourism friendly. We ought to be the top of this right behind San Antonio.
Yep.
San Antonio below us.
For sure. Yeah, I tried last year, and yeah, they said we got you. We would love to do it. We're just not ready for something that big yet.
Yeah, let's talk about that. All right, Go Texan contract.
Yes, sir. That's just our booth at State Fair. Yes, sir. Our standard booth with the Texas Agricultural Commission. Nothing's changed as far as price, but what they have added that I wanted to mention to you guys, and you've seen it, Judge, right next to our booth, we have a 10 by 20 foot booth there in the Go Texan building at State Fair. Right next to us is the community area. It's a little small stage. They do demonstrations, like they bring in honeybees and show you how you can make honey, how to use your produce better, et cetera. But it's usually once a day that's used. The rest of the day, it just kind of sits there. And so I asked them, well, since the benches say visit Big Bend on it, because we sponsor, that's part of our sponsorship, we sponsor that stage. Would it be all right if once a day, once a week, whatever y'all decide, we go and give a talk on there? And they were like, absolutely, we'd love for you to do that. So that's an added value. They're not going to charge us for it. So while I'm there, and hopefully I can get the staff a little bit more confident on speaking publicly, they'll do it when I'm not there. Every day we'll have a little talk on the stage. And so that'll be really neat. We hope to show our video in the background, answer folks' questions. We, of course, do that in the booth. But typically in the booth, you have 10 to 20 people in there at the same time. So you have to talk very loud or they can't hear you. This will actually be on the stage with seating for about 30 people. So hopefully it works, but that's a freebie on that contract this year.
Make a motion to go forward on the rotation.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. I would tell you guys on the court, if you have a chance to go up to the state fair this year, spend a day, it's worth the trip up there and hang out in the booth. Sarah, you might enjoy that. Just the truth, the big men commissioner.
Sounds like a lot of gas.
That's a lot of gas.
Get there. We'll reimburse you.
I think tourism's got plenty. Heard about that.
Oh, it's going out of their
We
budget.
have
They're all
administrative travel funds. We're happy to reimburse
Yeah, I
you.
think tourism can pay for you to go up there, but the point matters, you get to spend, now you will have to work. It's not a freebie. You know.
Answer a lot of questions.
That's a lot of questions. It's worth going up if you haven't done it for a day. I don't know if I want to be there for 2 weeks, but all right, Herman Global, what's that deal?
Okay, Herman Global, this involves the Chiso Space Enclosure. Herman Global is an international company that we worked with before. It's been a while since we brought their journalists down, but they are based in Germany. However, they have an office in the United States. What they manage is Visit USA Parks. It's kind of a website, newsletter, and a publication, but they target folks from the European market that want to come to the US parks. So what better place to tell them about the closure? So that's what this is all about. Yeah, and it'll be a multi-month project. A lot of digital is involved with it, but it seemed like a good buy when they came back. They haven't contacted us in a while, but it's a good company. We worked with them before.
I'll make a motion that we accept that.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, anything else, Robert?
No, sir. Any
I have
questions?
an announcement that would like to make. I just got a post from Dr. Scott Emmerich that was he passed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, condolences to his family. He bought the borough there in American. Played the little squeeze box and would sing and do the karaoke. He really got into it. He really wanted.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Robert.
Thank y'all. Appreciate you.
All right, the next Commissioners Court meeting is going to be here on April the 8th, 9:30. Want to entertain a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor, say aye.
Well,
This court's adjourned.
what days, the trees